Hi, Ted Sorensen here, and I'm here today at the opening of the new emergency department, which I did not get an invitation to. And so it's a good thing that we do have the emergency department, but it's a little bit disappointing that with the increase in the number of beds that we get is only 2, and that's been told to me by doctors. The other thing is that we do need extra beds at this hospital. We really desperately need beds in the wards so that people can be transferred from the emergency department into the wards. And that's one of the biggest problems we have. The biggest concerns is we're transporting around about 544 patients in a 6-month period to Maryborough, 400 to Brisbane, over 100 to the sunny coast, and even sending a few to Childers. You know, we should be able to have the beds here and make sure that we look after the people here without putting them in an ambulance after they've been to the emergency department to go to Maryborough or go anywhere else. I know there are some situations where they do have to go to Brisbane, but the majority of those numbers is unreal. 544 get transferred from here to go to Maryborough. And in 6 months, that is an only 6 months period. So that really is around about 1,100 a year that is transported up to the Maryborough Road, up to the hospital. One of the things that concerns me most of all, and a lot of complaints come in, is that their partners cannot get to Maryborough because a lot of the elderly people don't have a licence anymore to drive. They can't get to Maryborough. And they've got to rely on relations or friends or something like that, or even pay for a taxi to get up there, and that's pretty expensive. And it's so unnecessary when we should have those facilities here. That building over there has got nothing on the top story. I know the ED is great at the bottom, then they've got a few things in the middle, but the top story has nothing in it at this point in time. The helipad is not on the top of the building. They've still got that over on the stony ground there. And there's a few people had their back windows smashed and different things like that from flying stones from the helicopters. So there's all those sort of things. But we need hospital beds. And they hospital beds in that top floor to make sure that we don't have to transfer people out of their bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, like the taxi drivers give me a lecture one day at the airport about taking an old 84-year-old lady home at 3 o'clock in the morning. They had to go round the garden to find the key so she could get in. All those sort of things. We shouldn't be discharging people at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, we need an extra around about $15 million to finish off that building with the car parks, the helipads, and to deck out the 3rd floor. You drive past here at night time, you will not see any lights on the top floor. So there's nobody home except for the pigeons. So we need an extra $15 million to finish that building off.
So Ted, this building, is it finished? Is there no more money left?
That's what I get, that there's no more money left to spend on this building. I know there's supposed to be 24-bed mental health beds, but I don't know where they're going at this point in time, and I don't think the department knows where they're going. They might put them in the top of this building, but at this point in time I've had no notification of where those beds are going. So, and it's a good facility, but there's only 2 extra beds in that facility to meet the demand of a growing city. And take Hervey Bay is growing at around 2.5% a year. And to be told that we don't need any more extra beds in this hospital until 2030 is absolute rubbish, because we're growing all the time, and you put 2.5% on year in, year out over the next 10 years, where are we going to put these people? That's what worries me. You know, we're a growing city, and we're growing pretty fast still. And we need those beds in the wards so that people can be treated and put into those ward beds and not be thrown out at 3 o'clock in the morning.